All right, guys, I just wanted to give you some tips when a stranger comes to your door. Now, there's so many variables and so many different situations that can happen. This is just going to be a broad overview of just some general things that you can do that'll help you out. Just watching this Daryl Brooks case and knowing that he went to someone's home, the guy let him in, tried to feed him, give him a coat, knowing what could have happened after he just murdered, women and children. This guy was pretty lucky that he wasn't, at the minimum, taken hostage. So let's talk about what you should do right off the bat. So number one, what I always tell everyone, a lot of you know this, some still don't get it. You never, ever open your door. If you don't know that anyone's coming over and somebody knocks at your door, you don't open the door an inch and stick your nose in there and say, what do you need? You literally just shout right through the door. It would go a little something like this. Who is it? And once I get a response, what do you need? That's just basically the way I do. Unfortunately, there's a lot of con men out there. And these guys that probably couldn't even read a chapter in a book or write a sentence out of ignorance are some of the most street smart, streetwise people that you'll ever find. They're used to being on the streets and, doing whatever they do and trying to get away with it for so long since they were children, some of them, that they are very streetwise and they know what to say and they know the right things to do in a situation to try to what they call flip you or spin you when you're asking questions. Like, for instance, you're asking, what do you need? They might say, well, it's an emergency, or I need to use a phone, or this or that happened. Well, the first thing I would do is just right through the door say, do you need medical attention? Okay, so they're probably going to say no to that. Next is I would say, okay, I'm calling law enforcement, and they will come out and assist you with whatever you need. Then you see how it goes from there. Normally, once that's done, you'll know pretty quickly what route this is going down. Once you tell them, just say, I'm on the phone with law enforcement. Now remember, guys, don't try to be a saint when you're doing this. You lie just like these people would lie to you. Do whatever you can do. That's why police can lie in interrogations and things. They're allowed to. So one of the things you can do is if somebody, I'm going to talk to you about your cell phone too here in a minute. But if somebody comes to your door and they're like, oh man, can you just let me in? I don't care if you got a dog or if you don't, or if you got a cat, whatever, a bird. Just say something like, my Rottweiler bites strangers and I can't let you in. Always remember to be as slick as they are, because they're going to always come up with something to override what you asked or why they need to come in. So always come up with your own thing when you're talking to them. So, hey, I need to come in, or this or that, or it's cold outside or whatever. I would just simply say, okay, I'm calling law enforcement right now, and somebody will be here shortly to assist you in what you need. Another thing, too, is when you're out in public and people want to use your phone. I have let people use my phone. Now, here, let me back up for a minute. Always use your gut instinct. Normally, you'll have a feeling inside of what's going wrong or what's not going wrong. Some people will feel pressured to do something for someone because they may be a minority and they don't want to feel like people would call them out and say, well, you're doing it because it's a minority. Never go by that. Always go by your gut feeling. Okay? Always go by your gut feeling. Now, I have let people use my phone, but I have never, ever let a stranger touch my phone. I would say, tell me the number. This is how I would start out. This is how I would start out with a person that wants to use my phone. I'm not going to let you hold my phone or touch my phone. Tell me the number, I'll put it on speakerphone, and you can talk to them like that. And if they say that it's something private, well, then tell them they're going to have to get somebody else, because they're not taking your phone. There is guys out there that will ask you to use your phone and then take off running and snatch it while you have the screen unlocked. They'll go in and push do not lock screen, and they will be able to get in and open up and unlock the phone. So never ever hand somebody your cell phone. If they want to use it, you just hold on to it tightly, dial the number, keep a good distance from them, and tell them that they can talk over speakerphone. Here's another thing that happened to me recently I was going to tell you about. Now, I went to the store one night. It was late. I think I might have been off work. But it was late, and I went to the store, and I just wanted to... I think I was getting some ice cream or something silly like that. I was up, and it was getting late at night. I thought, you know what, I'm going to go get some ice cream. And I get to the store, and it's probably close to the time that Ohio stopped selling alcohol. There's a limit in Ohio of how long they can sell alcohol. I believe it's 1:30 a.m., if I'm not mistaken. Between 1:30 and 2, somewhere around there. So anyway, it was right about this time. I go there, I get in my truck. I park on the side of the building, and this guy's coming up from the side. And he's like, hey, buddy, you know, I just lost a couple quarters on my walk here. And I wanted to see if I could just get 50 cents. I was feeling generous. I was feeling in a good mood. And I was like, all right. So I had change in my console. So this is what I did. Never feel bad about going above and beyond. I said, okay, this is what I'm going to have you do. You're going to go over to the other side of my vehicle on that side. I don't want anybody behind me. And he was like, oh, okay, you know, no problem. He went all the way up to the other side of my truck. I reached in the console and got 50 cents. You never want to be in a compromising position if you're going to do something like that. I really didn't have a red flag that anything was going to happen, but I kind of went above and beyond just to go that extra mile. You know, so no, you're going to have to stand over here where I tell you to stand. You're going to have to basically do what I tell you to do, and then I'll give you 50 cents. I did give him the 2 quarters, and I don't know what he did with it after that. I didn't even see him in the store, so who knows? But that's what I did. I said, you're going to have to stand over here. I don't want anybody near my side or behind me when I reach in this truck. And he went around, you know, and did like I said. But, guys, always remember, the courtesy ends at your front door. Courtesy and politeness ends at your front door. What do I mean by that? You can let all that stuff fly out the window that you think that you got to open your door and stick your nose out when somebody knocks. That's old school stuff. People are in a habit of that. I still know people to this day that will pop their door open and stick their nose out. Let me tell you something. If there's a man out there and he's a whatever kind of man and he's on drugs, drunk, or he wants something from you, once you have that door cracked open, he can get in. He can get in most times. Most times he can get in, especially if it's a woman or an older woman. This is just the facts that I'm telling you. You talk right through the door. You know, if nobody is planned to come over to your house, speak right through the door. What do you need? That's exactly how I do it. That's exactly what I do if I ever get a knock on the door. Normally I don't. But all right, guys, until next time, I hope you found this vid informative. Just some tips to keep you safe. Anybody comes to your door and they say there's an emergency or they need to come in or they're freezing outside, tell them you're on the phone with law enforcement and they'll arrive in a couple minutes. If they say, okay, please, go ahead and call law enforcement, call 911 or the local police and get them out there. And that's about it for that. All right, guys, until next time, this is DOF, and I'm out.